to Radio Labyrinth. This is our Patreon-only show for all of you wonderful Patreon members out there who continue to support us. Please share with your friends if you like the show and get them to join and spend money on us because we need your money. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, hey, this next round, we are going to be talking about season 2 of Yellowjackets, the awesome Showtime show that I came to late, but I binge watched like nobody's effing business and ended up watching the first episode of season 2. We all watched it, and we're going to talk about it. The name of the episode was Friends, Robin's Country Bed. And we know why it was called that, because in the very last scene, or nearly the very last scene, it might have even have been the last scene, an ear was popped into somebody's mouth. Lend me...
Oh, like you've never eaten an ear before.
I haven't eaten an ear. I've eared. You want to talk about that, but nobody knows what that's about or cares, because that happened in 1988. Ear, eat and run. You figure it out.
You can't just stroke an ear in your pocket for, a good couple of days and not finally take a bite of it. I mean, I dare you to try it.
I'd rather eat something else on Jackie's, even if she is frozen in dip.
Oh, gross. I'm sure that's probably going to hit the fire pit at some point.
Yes, sear up that badge. Now, Melanie Linsky's character, Shauna, actually the younger version of her, popped the ear in her mouth. Of course, it was Jackie's ear. And we will now, do we want to do a recap of season 1? Basically, the soccer team's plane crashes in the Andes and they eat each other. No, wait, that's a different movie. That's a movie. There's so many characters in this program. There's so many stories, and you're trying to figure out what's supernatural, what isn't supernatural, who is the person, the puppet master here. And I don't know that I'm qualified to lead it because I just sort of watched the show and, by this discussion, and I don't really delve into the fan theories. Have you guys done that at all?
Fan theory-wise? No.
I know Shauna got possessed by Mike Tyson. That's what I was thinking. Thought I had Mike Tyson, who was noted to eat people's ears, but only in boxing rings. The first season of the show just blew me away. I had no idea what it was about. I just saw it was a bunch of women in the show, and my misogynistic take on that is, it ain't for me. But upon watching it, it was a fun show. My favorite character and actress in the whole thing is Christina
Juliette Lewis.
Now, Juliette Lewis is great, but I like Christina Ricci's character just because she's so nuts.
Misty is my favorite. At the opening scene of this one, whenever she's trying to talk to Shauna about the guy, because they're trying to cover up the murder.
Yes.
She just knows they've missed something. When she's like, Bree, that's why I have the cookie. And it says, ask for a lawyer.
Right. You want a friend like Misty. You want a friend like that who's buttoned up and will, find out the social security number and banking information for the hotel owner where you held. And then, so I really don't know. How should we kind of go through this? Because, this ain't going to be super long episodes, but, we're not the Easter eggs and theory type of thing. We're just a bunch of old people talking about it, Dustin aside. We're a bunch of old people who watch these shows and talk about them.
All the chicks in the show, they're like our age, practically.
They're a little young.
Not the hot ones.
They're my age.
Yeah.
Or at least Christina Ricci is. So
I did podcast math on Courtney Eaton, and she's 27, and she's teen Lottie, so I'm fine with it.
No, it's okay then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though, you mentioned that about Misty. You need a friend like Misty. Had it not been for Misty, they would have all gotten found.
Right.
Because she's the one who hid the transponder from the plane after they crashed because she didn't want to lose her newfound role as being the only one who knew what the fuck to do in the wilderness.
Right. Yeah, she wanted to be somewhere where people looked up to her.
They all hated her. They thought she knew what she is, but she's the equipment manager of the team, and kind of like the water boy. They brought her there, and they just hated her, and she's annoying.
And that's what I'm wondering, at what point, if they'll even find out this season that she did that.
Yes. Yeah. Now we're seeing other characters that we didn't really find out much about in the first season. Those are going to be the kids they eat, obviously.
Yeah, those are the dinner kids, because they showed them all they did like a scene of when they got rescued.
Yeah.
And they showed everybody that was getting off the plane. And a lot of those kids weren't on that plane.
No, that's right. So they all got shit in the woods.
Why didn't they start by eating that guy's leg that they chopped off?
Right. Well, they had the deer, and then they found out the deer was all rotten. And that's bad. So they couldn't eat the deer. And then
they killed that bear.
Well, the bear shows up, and one of the fan theories I did read is that bear had rabies, and that's why they're all going mad. But I think there is a supernatural element, and there's one character that shows up intermittently throughout some of the episodes, and that's the man with no eyes, right? Have you guys seen the man with no eyes?
Yeah.
It was in the background. Yeah.
Who is the man with no eye?
Nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody knows yet, so...
It's a mystery wrapped in a middle... Wait, it's a mystery wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in an enigma. Joe Perry.
Well, so I know one theory. Some people have been saying something about aliens that...
Well, there's an alien ship in the opening credits now, right?
Yes, I think so.
All the Lacklins are in that.
But we know that Van, she lived, Ty's lover in the cabin, the one that she was tied to, so she won't get up and go eat dirt and kill little dogs in the woods in the night.
Yeah, those 5 pills didn't last very long.
Yeah, and Thaisa is nuts, and obviously she's not going to have custody of her kid for very long, or ever see her kid again.
I'm worried about the new dog.
Yeah, I know. She said I'll do better with you.
Oh, I buy that.
So Lottie is the one who was a schizophrenic. She didn't have her pills, and she's either the cabin or that part of the woods is speaking to her and guiding her. Do you think her retreat that we see in this episode is the same woods? Did she buy all that land, and that's where her retreat is for her little weirdo cult?
I think that's very possible because she was extremely wealthy. That's her plane, or her parents. Yeah. They're the ones who chartered it. Yeah.
Maybe there's a lawsuit or something. She gets even more money. But that was whole wacky scene toward the end when Juliette Lewis wakes up and she sticks the fork in that little cult member's hand, and then Natalie's running around the woods being chased, and then she comes upon this weird, I don't know, midsummer type of thing with her burying an old man with a big cock.
You thought that was big?
Well, for me. I didn't really look at it that closely.
Yes, you did. You paused it.
I did. Pausability.
But what about Freak Fest Shauna and Jeff banging in front of her paintings?
Yeah.
That was bizarre.
That was so weird.
What is that actor's name? I don't have it here in the credits. I should have put it in here in the credits. I have little notes so I can remember people's names, and I didn't put his in there. Jackie is a ghost, so she's haunting Shauna, and that's crazy having those conversations. But Shauna and her husband are the stupidest criminals on earth, and of course they're caught, obviously, right? What are they going to do, kill their daughter and eat her?
I mean, really. I mean, obviously her daughter knows that they did something. I mean, she's found the license that they didn't fully burn up in the grill.
That's a weak plot point because he went back out and cooked more food.
Yeah, since that happened, I thought so too. Yeah, why wouldn't you notice it?
Right, he went back out there and cooked more food, and obviously they didn't cook any of those hot dogs on the coals of the burning books. So he put charcoal. He had to have put charcoal in there, and the embers would have just cooked everything. So I don't know.
And why wouldn't you take the paintings instead of putting paint thinner on them to make it more than obvious?
They said something about that, like people would see them if they took them out of there, but people saw them going in. What the fuck?
Yeah. That's the problem with modern crime dramas. There are cameras everywhere, as Misty discovered. Right?
Oh, yeah. With the guy that ran the motel.
Yeah, that guy was great.
Oh.
Yeah, he was very sardonic.
He was wonderful.
And, but again, she's the one that gets all the numbers, and she's the one that's going to help you. So Natalie and what's his name? Ben? Are Natalie and Ben the ones going around in the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've mapped it all out. So I guess we can get more detailed on things as we go along. There's more episodes on the way, and but it's such a great show. There's so many good shows out right now, and I can't believe I've actually watched all of them, except for The Mandalorian, which we'll talk about on the regular show. But anything else to add on this week's episode of our Patreon only Yellowjackets?
At the end of the episode, I totally heard the opening to last podcast on the left.
Oh, you did?
At the end.
I don't understand that.
At the beginning of every last podcast on the left, there's little sound bites, and it goes, "Rise from your grave." And then it pauses, and he goes, "And that's when the cannibalism began."
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to Elijah Wood's character making his appearance. We only heard his voice whenever she was reading him. He's one of those internet detectives trying to figure out what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be coming up I think in the next episode. So those two characters are going to meet, and there's supposed to be some sort of a love thing go on between the two of them. And which I think it'll probably be funny. He does really good playing a weirdo character. And I'm also interested in seeing a grown-up Van played by Lauren Ambrose coming up.
Uh-huh. The subreddits that Christina Ricci's looking at, and they don't really exist, I don't think, but those are kind of cool too. And she's following she's finding information in these things. Isn't that how she's able to track some of these people? And I don't know, she's on top of things, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting show. It's a lot of fun. If you are an older millennial, I think you'll love it because it's your generation. So that's really what it is, right? Those are the either late stage Gen X or early millennials, right? The millennials that are in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, I'm going to say if you're 40, anywhere from 37 to 43, maybe.
Yeah. That's your thing. All the music, that's your jam. All that music.
I love that music too, though. And they don't always just stick to 96. They go back further in the 90s.
Yep.
Some of them are a little jarring. I would have picked some different songs from that era, maybe, that weren't so. I know they're trying to pick the year and hit the year, but I think it's too much nostalgia.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
this is how I know it was past our generation, because Jeff jamming out to fucking Papa Roach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a lame. God, they were lame.
Yeah, they were. And that song, what is it? Cut my life into pieces.
Last resort.
Resort. That overprocessed
New metal
garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fred Durst ushered into the world for some reason.
Well, I would say Papa Roach is better than anything Fred Durst ever did.
Yeah, I guess.
Although I am Eskimo Brothers with him, so that's my badge of honor.
You don't like his cover of The Man Behind Blue Eyes?
No. All right, so that's our recap. Season 2, episode 1 of Yellowjackets on Showtime or the Paramount app, and with the extension. I don't know. There's so many fucking things. Friends, Roman countrymen, lend me your ear to eat in a cabin or outside. Agree. We'll talk to you next week.